Rolling through the old rectangle of doom and I stumble across a meme. Well, a sort of infographic which was more than it seemed. It showed a picture of some kittens, mostly white with flecks of black. It caught my attention. I read the text because, I love a cat. It said, "A fever coat occurs when the mother of the kitten is stressed during pregnancy, and the kitten is then born with a greyish-white fur which eventually fades to black as they age." I blinked, I think. From white noise to blackout, my mind became an abyss. What is this? Why am I empathizing with this cat? I'm not a speciesist, it's not about that, it's a different sensation, not my familiar void, rather a part of my psyche that I actively avoid. But I'd like to delve with minimal mudslinging and discuss my mother, my experience and my upbringing. Her mother sailed to these lands to provide labour for a living. She did not complain, ever growing, ever giving. 6 daughters sought after the treasures that were promised. Education and jobs if you tone down and remain modest. They were young, but not too infantile to understand that they were gifted opportunities, taught to never bite the hand and that they were black. And that's that. So this became their learnt behaviour, to comply to this country and that one day subservience would be their saviour. One of those daughters bore me and a brother. And some of the lessons that I learnt from my mother were good, better, best. Never let it rest until that good becomes better and your better becomes your best. But that bettering became a battering in here. Learning to understand the patois that was spoken constantly conflicted, yet learning to adhere and to understand the patois that was spoken and not repeat it to my peers, otherwise I'd be seen as a token. To conform to societal expectations whilst partially cloaking my roots. These, the very foundations, the roots I should be watering, but only where I reside. So we never broke of it, maybe a matter of pride. So I found my solace in music. No parental limits were placed. It was mine, I got to choose it, off beats, big bass, tis, heavy riffs, and with this, I grew to become a mighty fine mosher. Hanging out with punks, doing drugs, getting drunk, much to the dismay of my mother. I wore new rocks, wide baggy jeans, fishnets with everything, drew on drippy dramatic eyeliner to represent the sadness within. And though I felt at home on my new metal throne, I was still a shock to that scene. I mean, have you had to justify to some random dude while you're attending a gig and how you discovered this tune? Mate, I'm a sore thumb and you're just rude. So now I'm construed as the black sheep. And that's deep, because that livestock label didn't stop there. It welcomed me in at home pretty much everywhere. To my family, I was the bounty, the Malteser, the coconut girl, because I didn't please them. They grounded me for announcing myself as a Wiccan, and then for dinner we ate Sunday roast with jerk chicken. So, for many years of my life, I have been this kitten, and thusly my focus has never been to fit in. And rightly so. The wider world is waking up, trading their tokens in and taking another look. The typecasts are out of paper and ink, the pigeonholes are full and the labels have started to stink. I have come to understand the friction between me and my mother, all the stress and the conflictions, embracing the amalgamation of culture. Eat a full English with plantain. Move with force, we are the unchained. My fever coat has faded. Only onyx overtones shall overthrow. From a kitten to a cat to a panther, always leave room to grow. Thank you. Right, this last one's a funny one.